Let's get into it. Sold Not For Sale podcast. We got Joe Rogan talking with a great comedian, Giannis Pappas, and they are talking about Trump and the good things that he did. Now, Joe Rogan's also going to be touching on a clip of, I believe, the former head of Facebook, this gentleman who was very left-leaning, who now feels like he's in the center and kind of shifting to the right, and he breaks down why people have this derangement system towards Trump. He breaks it down perfectly. They play the clip. I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to play it for you guys so you get the whole thing, full context, full screen, all that good stuff. And then we have more clips. We got Trump celebrating a good, well-deserved victory in New Hampshire. Then we have the former ICE, the person who used to run ICE. He's talking about something that he's planning on doing with Trump, and just let me take you on this ride. And then we have Biden actually giving his statement on what Trump winning New Hampshire actually means, if that even means anything to you. And then Trump addresses something that Vivek asked him to address, and it's pretty big. I've been waiting for a long time to hear Trump address this. Wait till the end. You're going to hear exactly what that is. Let's switch over here. Don't forget about IamCoachColin.com. We have sold not for sale designs. We got Public Enemy #1. We got The Great Resist. We have so many more. Discount code is IamCoachColin, all capital letters, all one word, one L in the name Colin. Let's get to Rogan.
Vacation. Why they can bend the rules. The rules are the fucking rules.
Yeah, once you compromise the rules, that's...
You gotta let people vote.
Yeah.
You gotta let people... There should be, and I think there's got to be a good news... What is that, 1440 News? Is that what it's called?
I don't even know what that is.
There's some news site that is... There's a company... I think that's the name of it. I signed up for it. I don't remember what it is. They're trying to just give you facts with no narrative. Like, here's the events of the day.
Ground news? I love ground news.
I don't know what the sources are, like if they're on the ground. But what they're doing is they're trying to do it without a left wing or a right wing spin.
Well, ground news tells you it
That's
rates...
it, 1440?
I don't know, is it?
Yeah, that's it. Do you have to sign up for it?
I don't even know. I can't tell if this is just a Substack.
100 plus sources, so you don't have to. Culture, science, sports, politics, business, and more, all in a 5-minute read. People are... If you're a Fox News fucking zombie, you're a Fox News zombie. You're not checking what MSNBC has to say. You know, what's that Rachel Maddow lady? What's her take on this? Is there room in the middle here?
No,
like,
you don't. You don't want to live in that reality. You live in that. You live in the Fox reality.
You don't have any time. No one has any fucking time, Giannis.
Yeah.
They don't have time to be sorting this out. So if you're fucking lying and you're doing it because you think it's a good strategy to get your politician in place, that's dirty. That's anti-American.
Yeah, it is. But I'm sure it's the way it's worked,
Bro,
from the beginning.
Think about what they took Nixon out for. Just spying. Just a little spying. Just a little spying. Not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do anything about the Epstein client list, and they don't want to do anything about whatever the fuck Hunter Biden was doing with Russia and Ukraine, and China.
Yeah.
What were you doing, bro?
They're selective about what
were
they're
you
gonna
doing
take.
over there?
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, why does everybody have millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Where did all that come from?
Yeah. Why are you on the board of a major energy company and you're a crackhead? Is it to curry favor with the vice president?
Why did Joe Biden get $1 million a year job teaching at UPenn?
Yeah.
That was funded by a Chinese grant.
Yeah. He also...
Or I shouldn't say it's funded by a Chinese grant. It happened right after China gave him a bunch of money. Yeah. This fucking dude doesn't even have to show there. They just tell everybody he's teaching there.
Yeah. And he also plagiarized, got caught, and there's no consequences.
Dude, we had Joe Biden night at Stitch's Comedy Club in Boston. In 1988, when he was running for president, he got busted. I think it was Robert Kennedy's speech and someone else's speech. He used like big chunks of people's stuff, and he got busted pre-internet.
Yeah.
And it was so egregious and so bad that we did Joe Biden night at the Stitch's Comedy Club, where like you would go up and do my act, and I would go up and do your act. We would just go up and do acts of our friends. If you just, Fitzsimmons and I used to go and watch it. It was hilarious.
Yeah. There's no consequences.
There's no consequences.
No consequences.
It's not just no consequences, but there's so many videos of him. People keep wanting to talk about Trump lying and Trump being a bully, and it's like, I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not a crazy individual, a bombastic individual, but why are you ignoring the other guy's lies?
Right.
Because if you care about truth, we should be going, shit, look at this mess. That's what we should be doing.
It's the same reason why those people won't say that Trump did anything good. He did do some good things when he was in office. He was right about some things, and he did do some things that were effective. But they'll never admit it because it's all team ball.
The guy who was the head of Google, how do you say his name? Chamath? I don't want to fuck his name up. Brilliant guy. But his take on it was Trump was the wrong guy with the right strategies. Wrong guy with the right message. Wrong guy socially, politically, lightning rod for the wrong kind of people. The right guy in terms of, it seems like those policies were more effective. There's just so many things that are fucking weird right now.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point, yeah.
Well, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant guy. And you have to be brilliant to be someone who was at Google, which is an incredibly left-wing organization, like heavy, like most super genius tech people are very like left-wing. And then to look at that in a nuanced way and to be able to step outside of the ideology and say that, because that's the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
He was early exec at Facebook, not Google.
I'm sorry, Facebook. And that, again, same kind of thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, super genius tech guy. But the way he describes, see if you can find him saying it. Because the way he describes it, you're like, thank God he's saying that and not a moron.
Yeah.
You know, because what he's describing is the actual points, and he's making very good points about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, I mean, we're less dependent on foreign oil. I mean, he was right about the border. Look at the border now.
The border now seems to be on purpose. It seems to be on purpose. It seems to be like there's some sort of a strategy to either flood the country. Tim Dillon thinks it's cheap labor for construction. He's like,
that's got to be true.
It's got to be a factor. It's got to be a factor. Cheap labor is probably a factor. And then this episode is brought to you by AG1. The supplement industry has gone crazy. Infusing just a scoop in a glass. See all your naughty late nights or school, all of my devices. So, and then another factor is this push to have them be able to vote. You know, it's a weird one. Like they're doing that in New York City. They're pushing to give illegals the right to vote. But then the wildest thing that Texas is doing is just shipping all the people that show up because these states want sanctuary cities. Like, yeah, because you're not on the border. Yeah, okay, we'll just ship them to you.
Yeah.
So Texas is just shipping busloads of illegal immigrants to New York. Like, this is your mess.
It's the perfect example of the difference between theory and reality.
Yes.
It's like everyone up there is in theory, oh, love everybody, everyone's great. There's no such thing as an illegal. And then when it becomes your problem, and that's why Texas is doing it, they're going, okay, now you're going to deal with what we're dealing with, so you're going to feel what it's like, and now you guys got to pay for it, and you have to figure out what to do and
change your policies.
Yeah, so it has. There's a lot of people in the left and the center that are going just like make it go away. They're just going, I don't know, just throw them in the water, just make it go away, but don't tell anyone I told you.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's it.
We're talking about Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it took 2 minutes. Let me restart.
Hillary Clinton. I voted for Joe Biden.
So they're about to play it. I'm just going to skip through that part, but I'm going to play the full thing for you because Jamie found some kind of like TikTok version of it, and it's really cut up, and it doesn't give the full nuance of what's going on because, you know, Jamie's in the CIA, and that's fine. That's fine. It's fine to be in the CIA. Let's play it here.
Really good work. I mean, again, like, man, as a Democrat who has been left homeless, who is now definitely in the center, but probably leaning increasingly right, I'm left yet again with an appreciation, despite the messenger of the message of the Trump administration, because what those guys did was pretty incredible in hindsight. These Abraham Accords, the accords with Israel and the GCC, the almost accord between Israel and Saudi, to really be able to like find a long-lasting peace is just a real example for the world. And you know, those guys did a lot of really good work. And
it's a miracle, actually, when you look at it. What they did, you know, despite the fact, listen, I'm no fan of Trump, and I am too homeless.
But this is where,
it's a political party. But if you want to objectively look at what they did, it was good work. It was great work.
You have to. And in fact, this is a moment where you have to start to re-underwrite, like, is your, not you, Jason, but I'm just saying collectively, is one's Trump derangement syndrome causing more damage than anything that Trump could have actually done? And I think the answer is yes, because like it's now causing us to not see that good work and then embrace and extend it. So much of the work that happened in that administration turns out to have been right. And that's what's so frustrating for me. The work on the border wall. We didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. Turned out it was right. Issuing long-term debt to refinance when rates were at zero. We didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. A structural peace in the Middle East, we didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. When are we going to stop shooting ourselves in the foot? And when are we going to actually see and take the time to look past who is saying things and actually listen to them word for word? I'll give you an example. I started to tweet 3 links a day over the past 3 days. And the only reason I did that was I thought things were so hyper contentious and hyper partisan that I just wanted to show a few sides, right? And one day I found a couple links, 2 of which, one was from Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL, who I thought had a very powerful message. And one was from Mike Flynn. And his message was also actually pretty powerful if you just read it. And if you took the names off, all the content was so valuable, both points of view. But the minute it goes into the world, people immediately judge and they kill the message because of the messenger. And this is exactly a moment where you have an opportunity to just stop doing that because the stakes are so high. It's infuriating, actually, quite honestly. It's infuriating to see it.
We had this.
That could help us.
There was a man himself. Now, that is so true. But as he was saying that, you know what came to mind? Is it a derangement syndrome or is it by design? Because if it's derangement, well, then it's just like, oh, well, whatever he says is good, we say is bad. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe it's what a lot of people who want to vote for him feel is actually going on. He's trying to do things for America, and there's some kind of entity that has captured certain people in the establishment that is trying to go against that. Maybe it's by design, you know? Like, why would you look at any policy that's good? You know, because he brings up a great point. When you just look at what certain people have to say just in regards of tweets, and you take away the names, you can find a lot of valuable content. You would think that as a president who just steps into place, you could just take away anything that has to do with Trump, just erase the name and just look at the things and go, okay, what benefits America the most? Okay, that's really good. Okay, that's really good. Okay, I don't like that. That's dumb. But you could look at all the good things and say, okay, let's keep this and let's grow this. Let's extend these things. But that wasn't done. That wasn't done. And I have more videos. I'm going to play more of the Rogan clip, but I have more video showing just that. And it's from the former director of ICE. He's just talking about, he's worked for 6 presidents, and he's just talking about what he's seen in regards to the border. It's not really slander. He's not really throwing slander. He's just talking about what he has seen every single president that he has worked under. And, you know, one of them was Trump as well. One of them was the current president. So he's just kind of looking at everything and just being like, okay, what's going on? Which most people should be doing, because what is going on? Here, let's get back to the Rogan clip. Let me just switch over here. Get Rogan back on. Oh, we're going to be hearing some of that speech. Trust me. Don't worry, guys. Okay, let's get it.
When are we going to stop shooting ourselves in the foot? And when are we going to actually see and take the time to look past who is saying things and actually listen to them word for word?
Boom.
So good. Well, that's why he's going to win this election if they let him run. He's going to win. Well, I think the abortion thing really shot the Republicans in the foot.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women are not happy about that, whether they publicly say it or not.
I think it's a gamble. It's like what percentage of people are pro and what percentage of people are against, and how many of the people that are actually going to vote, the real hardcore,
right?
You know, red till I'm dead. How many of those people are pro-life? Probably a good number. And the other.
Very true. Now, that was just a small clip, but I just wanted to bring you the rest of it, of what I had planned to show you guys. Now, let's get into the rest of this. So we already saw the former head of Google speaking highly on Trump. And just to give credit to that guy, just so you guys know, he actually has a podcast called the All In Podcast. It's him and 3 or 4, I think it's 4 of them all together, and they just have some real conversations. And it's conversations like that. They don't sit there and just bash the left, and they don't sit there and just bash the right. They really kind of just try and look at the content of the characters that are in play today. And they have some really, really interesting conversations. It's not all about politics. They touch on different things, but just figured I'd shout that out. All In Podcast. It's a great podcast. Let's get into Trump you guys know Trump won, right? Not the big one, not yet, but won New Hampshire. Let's hear some of this speech. Then we're going to switch over to a little bit of Vivek. Yeah, just come with me on this ride here. Let's go.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This is a fantastic state. This is a great, great state. You know, we won New Hampshire 3 times now. Three. We win it every time. We win the primary. We win the generals. We've won it, and it's a very, very special place to me. It's very important. If you remember, in 2016, we came here and we needed that win, and we won by 21 points, and it was great. And today, I have to tell you, it was very interesting because I said, wow, what a great victory. But then somebody ran up to the stage all dressed up nicely when it was at 7. But now I just walked up and it's at 14. But she ran up when it was 7. And, you know, we have to do what's good for our party. And she was up and I said, wow, she's doing like a speech like she won. She didn't win, she lost. And you know, last week we had a little bit of a problem. And if you remember, Ron was very upset because she ran up and she pretended she won Iowa. And I looked around, I said, didn't she come in 3rd? Yeah, she came in 3rd. And then I looked at the polls. She was talking about most winnability, who's going to win. And I had one put up. I don't know if you see it, but I have one put up. We've won almost every single poll in the last 3 months against crooked Joe Biden. Almost every poll. And she doesn't win those polls. And she doesn't win those. This is not your typical victory speech, but let's not have somebody take a victory when she had a very bad night. She had a very bad night.
There's a lot more to that, but, you know, we can only play so much of things at a time. Now, we're just switching over to another clip. Trump's about to throw the stage to Vivek, and then we're going to hear the former, I believe it's the former director of ICE. He's going to say a little bit here, and then I have another clip of him actually talking about what it was like working under 6 different presidents and what he's seen in terms of the erosion of the border and its security. Let's go.
Who can't? But Vivek, 1 minute or less. Go do it, Vivek.
What we saw tonight is America first defeating America last. That's what we saw tonight. If you want America last, you can go to Joe Biden. You got another candidate still apparently in the Republican primary. Cut your Social Security to fork over more money to Ukraine so some kleptocrat can buy a bigger house. Go to Nikki Haley. But you know who delivered a double-digit victory tonight? It is a double-digit victory as of right now, is this man, Donald J. Trump, the leader of America First. And that means something. Now, USA and Donald Trump, America First. Now, I got 30 seconds left. I want to make this point here, okay? We got to say this right. What we see right now with her continuing in this race is the ugly underbelly of American politics, where the mega donors are trying to do one thing when we, the people, say another. And it's up to us, we, the people, to at long last say, hell no. We, the people, create a government that is accountable to us. And we, the people, have said tonight, we want, again, as we did in Iowa, Donald J. Trump. And so you want to actually speak truth. That's the truth tonight. And the only thing they're rooting for is an ugly thing that we don't want to see happen. That's what these people are rooting for, is playing to say long enough so the Reid Hoffmans and the ugly Democratic George Soros Jr.'s who are funding the lawsuits against Trump can prop up their puppet. We say no to that vision. I say the general election begins tonight, and this man will win it in a landslide. God bless you, Donald J. Trump. Vote Trump, USA.
Very nice. Wasn't that nice? So this was a great evening, and I want to thank everybody in the audience, and I want to thank the people that are standing behind me. You know, I think we called it right. Immigration's a big deal, a very big deal. We have millions and millions of people flowing into our country illegally. We have no idea who the hell they are. They come from prisons and they come from mental institutions, and it's just killing our country. And I'm talking about millions and millions and millions. They are drug dealers, they're everybody. And they come in just like walking right through. There's nobody to check, and there's nobody to vet. And we have a man with us tonight, Tom Homan, who is central casting. He's central casting. And I'd like you to say a few words about the border and who's going to solve that problem and how quick are we going to do it, Tom? Go ahead, please.
Look, I worked for 6 presidents down around Reagan, and every president I ever worked for did something to secure the border. But no one did more than President Trump, the most secure border in my lifetime. The most secure border we've ever seen. And Donald Trump's going to do it again. We're going to lock the border down, and we're going to protect Americans. Because what's happening at the border right now, a record number of Americans have died from fentanyl poisoning. A record number of migrants have died. A record number of women and children have been sex trafficked. A record number of known suspected terrorists across the border. There's one man who's proven he can secure the border, and he's standing to my left, Donald J. Trump, and he's going to do it again.
Now that gentleman, very short with what he just said, but he is actually quite the character. He has, like he said, under 6 different presidents. Here's him talking a little bit more about that, about his experience. So I'm so glad that Trump is actually gonna have this guy on his team. Like, such a perfect person to be doing this. And again, I have to say, when I was talking about Trump derangement syndrome, how much could you really hate a person that you look at a border that is, not completely secure, because it wasn't completely secure under Trump. It's never going to be completely secure unless there is just a massive wall, concrete wall all around the country. That's just how it is. And even then, people will find a way. But how much could you actually hate a person that you look at something that's good for the whole country and you say, because he did it, I'm going to do the opposite? You got kids, you got grandkids. We're talking about the current person in power. You got kids, you got grandkids, you got nieces, you got nephews, you got friends. They're all in the country. And you want to make it a little less safe because you don't like this other guy. At that point, you got to really say, does that person not like Trump, or do they not like the country? That's a real question to really ask. Here, let's just get into this clip real quick. Oh, unmute it.
Because they understood you can't have strong national security if you don't have border security. But President Biden is the first president in the history of this nation that I know of who came in office and unsecured the border on purpose. And even President Obama gave me the Presidential Rank Award, highest award available. Because what was I doing at the time? I was locating and deporting people that are in the country illegally. So we went for the most secure border of my lifetime, and it's not just my opinion. I've done this for 34 years. Anybody can go to cbp.gov and look at the data. We handed this administration the most secure border in my lifetime. And within months, we went from the most secure border to historic illegal immigration, numbers we've never seen before. And it's not because it's seasonal. It's not because of climate change. It's not because of Trump. This is by design. I've worked for 6 presidents up to Donald Trump.
Wow. Interesting. This is by design. There's a lot of people. Rogan has said that. Rogan has turned into that. Because before it was like, this is crazy. Is this engineered? Is it? And now he's like, this is by design. Tim Dillon has talked about it with Rogan. There's been so many people. I myself have looked at it and said, what else could it be? At a certain point, you have a job to do. You have a country to secure, and you're not doing it. And you have all the power to do it. I don't know. I can't say for sure because I'm not in the minds of any of these people. But it does seem a little by design. But this gentleman will be working with Trump, so that's very interesting to see. He's worked with 6 other presidents. Now, we're going to hear a quick statement on what Joe Biden and his administration feel that Trump winning New Hampshire actually means for the Republican Party and for the entire country. Let's get into that real quick. This long-jawed gentleman will spit that out for us.
Well, Joe Biden is the projected winner on the Democratic side, despite not being in the ballot and having to rely on write-ins. His campaign put out a statement tonight saying that Trump's victory here means that the election-denying anti-freedom MAGA movement has completed its takeover of the Republican Party. In Nashville, New Hampshire, I'm Brian Crandall.
Man, you would think just what an odd thing to say. You know, you can't even point that at Biden. Obviously, Biden, maybe he said it. Maybe somebody got that soundbite out of him, got that quote out of him. But you know, it's the people who are all around him that are saying things like that. To just go on the attack like that, it's fine, because it's not like Trump doesn't go on the attack. Trump is on the attack. I mean, Trump, anytime, if you say Biden to Trump, he's just going to be like, can't find his way off a stage. Can't put two sentences together. Just so you know, that's who we're talking about. Okay. Like, he always says it, right? So they're on the attack, but that's just such a silly thing to say. They've taken over the Republican Party. I guess. Is that what's happened? Or are people voting? Is that what, like, is there some kind of core? Are they doing something behind the scenes? Or are people just saying, I know who I want to see on the ticket? Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. So interesting. Now, this is the big thing that Trump is saying because he was prompted to by Vivek. Interesting. Again, you know, I always go back to that vice president role. Why is Trump saying things for Vivek? Vivek seems to have his ear in a pretty great way, and I've been waiting so long to hear President Trump say that he will condemn this. So long I've been waiting for this. Let's play this real quick.
And this I do for Vivek, because he's very big into it. I happen to agree with him, but he said, could you mention this? I will never. He said, I love Vivek. I love him too now. I didn't love him when he was running, but I like him now. It's amazing the way you can like somebody when you win, right? But Vivek is great. He's really great. But he wanted this, and I'll give him full credit for it. It's very important, actually. I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. And we will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech, and I will secure our elections, and our goal will be one day voting with paper ballots and a thing called voter ID. Voter ID. But until then, Republicans must win. We have to win. If you took the worst 10 presidents, let's say the worst. I used to say 5, remember? A few months ago. Then I said 5. If you took the worst 10 presidents in the history of our country, think of it, the worst 10, and you added them up, they would not have done near the destruction to the U.S., to the United States that we love so much, as Joe Biden and the Biden administration have done.
That could possibly be true. You'd have to really find the numbers. I mean, there's been some bad people, and every president, I mean, even Trump has done, they all end up doing something that a chunk of people don't like. I mean, Trump just existing, there was a whole chunk of the country that didn't like the fact that he existed. They didn't like that he tweeted. They didn't like that he was mean to people. They didn't like what he had to say about other countries. Like, so no president gets it completely right in the eyes of the whole population. Never happens, but he could be right about that statement. He really could. You know what's funny about what he just said about central digital bank currencies and protecting life and all these things? It's wild that all these things have become conspiracy, or well, they're associated with conspiracy and racism, sexism, misogynist, like just talking about securing the border, you know, protecting innocent life. And, you know, that goes to the whole, you know, pro-choice, pro-life, whole debate there. Just mentioning those things have all become demonized. Just talking about a central bank digital currency has somehow got thrown in with conspiracy theories. It's so ridiculous, in my opinion. But Like, subscribe, share. I just wanted to bring you guys on that journey through all the things that are going on. Trump wins New Hampshire. Nikki Haley is she's not gonna win, and I'm not even close to fearful. I was more, and not even fearful, because DeSantis, he's all right, but I was more like, oh, DeSantis might win, and now he's gone. Nikki Haley has no chance. No chance. We're going to see it time after time. It's going to be just like with Hillary Clinton. He's going to dominate there. Then he's going to go head to head with Biden. A lot of people, I will say before I go, a lot of people are saying that Biden will drop out by a certain time, and then Obama's will step in. I don't know if that's true. That has been, that was the talk, and I've made videos about this months ago, but it seems like it's too late. But I guess it's never too late. I don't know. But something would have to happen to Biden for that to happen. He would either have to get impeached, maybe the Ukraine, I don't know. Something would have to happen to him. It doesn't seem like anything is about to. So I don't know about that, but some people have been bringing up that again, that Michelle Obama will be the one actually running against President Trump. And that could be hard. That could be hard because a lot of the black population, a lot of black men are starting to say, we're going with Trump. Black women, on the other hand, they'll see Michelle and they'll get all wrapped up in it, But anyways, guys, like I said, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It helps the channel tremendously. And other than that, I'm out.